I'll admit to you guys, I walked in wanting to hate this. I wanted to hate it, and you were fantastic. Why did you approach it as almost a metaphor for getting clean and sober? Was that always in the mix?
Yeah, it was. I mean, the truth is, it all started with an interview we saw on TV with Rodo, my best buddy and co-writer on the movie. We were friends since we were kids, and we were watching this interview to this mother, and she was talking about her son, and her son was a crack addict. And she was talking about how scared she was because she knew that at night the guy will crawl, the guy was living in the streets almost, but will crawl through the rooftop of the house at night, steal some shit to sell and get crack. And she was telling how scared she was of him and when he walks into the house, she will hide under the bed and wait for him to leave. And she was talking about her own son, right? But he was completely out there with drugs. So we thought that was a great metaphor for possession, for real possession. I mean, at the end of the possession movies are thinking about that. They're like, what if your loved ones turn into these maniacs and crazy people, right? So that'll be a nice departing point for the whole story. And so we want to make sure that even though we have a different story in the first half of the movie, that is related to what's going to happen afterwards. Right?
Yeah. Now, where did you find the balance? Because playing that can be very difficult, and you find a really perfect balance of playing it not too crazy, but just crazy enough.
I mean, I feel like I looked pretty crazy.
You did, but you see people that are just go over the top, and you don't buy it for a second. I bought you the whole time.
Well, thank you. I don't know.
We try a lot of things. That was a key. Was not try to go for just one thing, but trying to have room. Those shots of when we cut a lot to Mia in the cellar. We probably have half an hour footage of just this girl going bananas and trying things and laughing and then crying and then joking for an hour. And then there's a shot that just at the end you go please, can't we stop? It's just after half an hour just trying things. So it was a lot of freedom in the set. We could do whatever we wanted to. And so that's how I think we managed to get cool stuff, right?
What was the toughest part for you?
Being buried alive.
Really? Okay. Now, talk about that. That's just disturbing.
Yeah. We did it for a couple of days because we had to set it up in different ways for different shots. And one way I was put in a box under the ground, and then another way I just laid in a ditch until they covered me until I disappeared while there was a bag tied around my head.
She had a bag on her face and all that. She had oxygen being pumped to the bag, but still very claustrophobic. She couldn't move at all. I was throwing the dirt on top of her just to make sure I get it right. So it was pretty weird.
Are you claustrophobic at all?
No. Oh, you know
Now
what
you
else?
are?
You know what else was the foxhole that I crawl into?
Oh,
It was a
yeah.
real foxhole in the forest, and it was
Yeah.
really raining blood, and I had to crawl in there, and
That was
they
disgusting.
pulled me out by my feet. Ugh, I was not excited about that
We
part.
tried to expose them to real things
It was like
during the
this
whole
big.
shooting, right?
Yeah.
That was the whole point of the movie. That was the whole point of not using CGI. I wanted the guys to go through something real. Otherwise, performance gonna be worse. I mean, I think every actor, they always like to be exposed to real stuff all the time. They don't, they don't like to have to imagine what's going on. They want to experience what's going on, right?
Or really see it, instead
Yeah.
of putting it in with a computer later.
Exactly.